talk about it. What's good? I got everything working. What's good? Let me move all this stuff out of the way. What's going on? We talking. We hanging. What's going on, beautiful people? What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you share this thing. Give me some heart. If you're on Instagram, give me some hearts too. Click on the little thing. I love some hearts. If you're on Facebook Live, click. And no, there ain't no code 45 up in there, so don't think about it. If you're on Facebook, share. If you're on Instagram, give me the hearts. Feel free to come in and say what's happening. Tell me what's going on. Give me the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. We're talking today about insecurities and how to get past insecurities. Because I notice a lot of people don't do anything because they're insecure. They got issues, got problems. But I'm the type of person to where I like to spin stuff. And I want you to see stuff in a different way. So, when you hear insecurities, you always think of, I can't do anything because of this and I want to try. No. But it's deeper than that. I mean, when I tell you it's deeper than that, what's going on? Hey, Laura, what's going on? All my beautiful people. It's so much deeper than that. I don't know why Facebook ain't letting me see my people, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Because they ain't letting me see my live viewers. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to work this thing in. It ain't letting me be great, but I'm going to talk anyway. I'm going to talk about it anyway. Who else I got with me? I got all my people up in here. What's going on, beautiful people? Now, let me spin this thing for you. Let me give you a different way of looking at this thing. Insecurities. Okay, now, insecurity. Let's just go way back and let's dig a little deeper. Now, the thing with insecurities, it all started back when you were a child. And let's face it, it started as a lie. Feel me on that? Somebody fed you a lie, a non-truth. And somebody fed it to you early to the point to where basically it stayed with you. All this time it stayed with you. You've heard stuff such as, you're too fat, you're too dark, you're too tall, you're too loud. Why you act like that? You're not qualified. You ain't gonna never be nothing. Ain't nobody from your family ever did anything worth talking about. Why are you trying that? Because you remember the last time somebody tried that, it didn't work out. Well, they lost everything. Again, insecurity started as a lie. But what happened was you heard that lie so much that you bought into that lie. And so that lie became your truth. You heard it so much, you started saying, you know what, shoot. Maybe I am too dark. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I'm not qualified. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I don't have what it takes. You started believing a lie. But see, this is the thing. You started believing early. So it's kind of shaped your life. You don't want to try anything because of what people told you and convinced you were. You bought the big lie. That was you. You bought the big lie. You believed it. You heard it so much from the time you were born to the time that you became an adult, so much so you probably got a nickname just because of it. I'm saying. So let me give you a deep, let's take this thing a little bit deeper. Your insecurities, the same little lies that people told you, they were meant to shut you down. They were meant to shut you down. Let me say this again. It was meant to shut you down. It was meant to keep you in a place of being stagnant. You see what I'm saying? Because you hear me say this all the time. Just as God knows your stuff, the devil knows your stuff too. So what devil does, let's talk God, let's talk devil. What happens is, God knows your stuff, devil knows your stuff. So what happens is, devil said, and you'll always hear me say this too. God sent people in your life for a reason, devil do too. Okay, and again, the devil can't destroy you, but he can distract you. Now, if your insecurities is tied into your gifts, see what the devil will do, the devil will send people in your life who bring out your insecurities. Have you ever had somebody you met that you liked or maybe even loved at some point who always seemed to bring out your insecurities? Whatever you had an issue with, they knew and they exploited so much so that it made you feel this low. Again, your stuff, your insecurities is tied into your gifts. And let me show you something. When I was young, I was always told I was too loud. I was obnoxious. Why you act like that? Why you gotta be like that? Why you always working out? Come drink, come party with us. Don't leave all of that stuff alone. And the beauty of it is, all of my stuff is tied into my gifts, which would eventually mold me and eventually make me who I am. I was told where I'm from not to grow your hair long. You don't grow your hair long. You look like a girl when you grow your hair long. But it ended up being my look. It ended up being my staple. It's what I'm known for. Had I listened to what people who had an opinions would say, and keep in mind, most of the people that give you the most grief and criticize you the most, you're doing better than. See, that's the funky part. The people who criticize and always got something to say, they're the people you're doing better than. I always remember that. So, long story short, had I listened to everybody, I wouldn't have had my trademark. I'm known for being loud now. But all of the while, God knew that was going to be my trademark. Being loud, being enthusiastic was going to be my deal, that I was going to be the weight loss champion of the world. God knew that, but the devil did too. So the magic question becomes, what has somebody talked you out of? What has somebody talked you out of? What has somebody made you insecure so much so that your gifts are locked into your insecurities, to where if you just press through your stuff, what would be on the other side of that? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, there's a reason why you act a certain way, why you feel a certain way. And again, it all goes back to your insecurities. How much better would you be if you just press through? What kind of life would you have if you just press to the other side? Again, they used to introduce you. They used to introduce you as the shy one. As the shy one. What would happen if you wasn't shy anymore? Huh? Well, what would happen if you shook that? Okay, they say you're an introvert. What would happen if you stopped being an introvert? What would happen if you started taking chances? What kind of person would you be if you started pressing past yourself versus always living somebody else's dream? And basically, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're essentially living out the dreams and living out stuff that ain't even yours. It's not even yours. It's not even your dream. It's not even your personality. It's something it's a personality somebody has created for you. So your challenge tonight is to sit back and think, dang, A, what am I insecure about? And B, who made me feel that way? That's your question. That's the question you have to address, because again, a lot of y'all ain't doing stuff and ain't living up to your potential because you still stuck in your stuff. You're afraid to take chances. You're afraid to do stuff. You're afraid to take your life to a different level because you're insecure. But the magic question becomes, are you really insecure, or have you bought what somebody else has sold you? Have you bought what somebody else has sold you? Let me say it again. Have you bought what somebody else has sold you? Let me bring Misty up in here because I want to talk to y'all. If it's going to let me do it. Let me see if I can bring folks up in here. It's not letting me do it. But that's the magic question. Whose life are you living? Are you living the life that you wish to live, or are you playing below your standard? I'm saying, are you playing below your standards? Okay? So my challenge to you tonight is press past yourself. Press past yourself. Get to the other side. And please understand that everything that you're going through right now, in terms of, dang, do I do this or do I do that? Everything is tied into your gifts. So if you learn how to press past yourself, if you learn how to press past your former self, you'll get to the new and improved version of you. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Getting to the better version of yourself. So let's get it. Love each and every single last one of you. Who I got with me? I got all kind of folks up here. Let me see who I got with me. Let me see who hanging with me this evening. Hold on, because I want to shout you out. Let me see. I got Renee. Renee saying she playing below. Tiffany. Renee says she playing below. Hey, Renee. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Tiff. What's going on? Tell them 0806 says everybody's but mine. Everybody's but mine. Let me ask y'all another question, and maybe y'all can help me with this, if you would. Question: who changed your mind? Who changed your mind about you? Who changed your mind about you? Hop on in. Who changed your mind about you? Who is that one person who convinced you you were not enough? Who is that one person who made you doubt you? And I want you to sit back and I want you to think about it. Who's that one person? Yeah, because again, we don't come into this world, all doubtful and all scary. Who made you scary? Laura says her current husband. Chanel says her ex-husband. A lot of y'all saying either your ex-husband or your current husband. Folks done changed your mind about you. And it goes back to, and this is the thing, if you're dealing with people who make you doubt you, then you got to start looking at the people around you. Feel me on that? You got to start looking at the people around you. Because everything starts with expectation, okay? So, I'll give you a great case in point. Like with me, My expectations are, if you're in my life, if you're in my circle, you add to me. You make me better. I make you better. We uplift each other and we good. I can honestly say I don't have people in my life that make me feel bad about me. Everybody is supportive. We're all striving for the same thing. Now, let me ask you, are the people in your life, your top 2, your top 3 people, are they doing that for you? Are they doing that for you? Are they supporting you? Do they make you feel good about you? Do they improve your life? Do they add and not subtract? Do they multiply and not divide? I'm waiting on your answer. I'm waiting on your answer. Do they add to you? Or do they subtract from you? Do they multiply? Or do they divide? What kind of people do you have in your life right now? What kind of people do you have in your life right now? I'm waiting on your answer. I'm waiting on your answers. What kind of people are you dealing with? What kind of people are you dealing with? Do they add to you? Do they subtract from you? Do they make you better? Do they make you worse? I'm reading. KB says, I have removed toxic people from my circle. So my current small circle are positive, good, supportive people. Okay. Val says, everybody but my husband, who will soon be my ex. Amen. Pre says, my daughter's watching me and I can't have toxic people around me. I got rid of them years ago. That's good. Good. Ladybug says, a few are draining. And you got to be careful about that too. When you deal with draining people, them the ones you got to look out for, because it's kind of like this. When you deal with draining people, what happens is you start taking on stuff in the very beginning. But what happens is it's kind of like weight. Now imagine, if you will, imagine if you're 60 pounds overweight. Okay? Imagine if you're 60 pounds overweight. Okay? Now, let's have somebody else's troubles and weight too. Now, let's say another person had another 100 pounds worth of weight and they hand it off to you. That's almost 200 pounds worth of weight. Now, think about going to the gym and lifting almost 200 pounds. Lifting that amount of weight will crush you. Now, let's take that back to real life. Your kids, your ex, your job, your best friend, your sister, your mama, your brother. Keep in mind, if you're the type of person I think you are, what you'll do is you try to carry the burden of everybody. But see, what happens is when you deal with selfish people, they don't mind giving it to you. They hand it off to you. So let's say everybody is adding 100 pounds to you, okay? Your mom, that's 100. Your daughter, that's 100. Issues with the grandbaby, that's another 100. Your job, that's another 100. Let's say the people around you give you financial issues that they don't want, so they give to you. That's 500 pounds. And that's not even adding the stuff you already have. So you really have to deal with people on the level of, look, I love you, but I need for you to carry your own cross. Because again, when you start trying to, pull everybody else's cross for miles, you get home and you're tired. And you have nothing else to give to anybody because you're too busy trying to drag other people's crosses. But again, you just don't drag one cross. You don't just drag your own cross. You drag several other people's crosses and wondering why you're tired all the time. Wondering why you feel used all the time. Wondering why you don't have anything left, not only for yourself, but the people who love you the most. Because you deal with draining people, and you really got to be aware of draining people. Again, if they always handing off to you, like a quarterback hands off to a running back, and you're the running back and you always carrying the problems and you always taking the hits, and you're wondering why you're tired all the time, you're wondering why you feel used all the time, at some point you got to say, you know what? I got to evaluate. I got to reevaluate. And lastly, and I said this last time, you got to stop giving passes to people. You got to stop giving passes to people. You got to stop letting people use you. Because again, you're the type of person who will try to take on stuff for other people because you love them. But at some point, when does the abuse stop? And again, y'all give passes to people because they wear your last name, because they're your kids, because they're your mom, because they're your daddy, and you let them use you up, drain you out. You used to have money. You ain't got money no more because money's going in and out your house and going over there because of their bad situation, and you volunteered to share and drag somebody else's cross. Again, if you didn't create the mess, don't share in the stress. That ain't yours. That ain't yours. That ain't yours. So if you're already having insecurity issues, and then you drag somebody else's stuff on top of your stuff, and this is the part of it too, you never get to address your insecurities. You never get to the other end of your stuff because you're preoccupied. You're preoccupied. You're preoccupied. You got too much stuff going on. So therefore, this is the deal. If I never address my stuff because I'm always dealing with somebody else's stuff, I never get to deal with my stuff. So if I don't get to focus on my stuff, guess what? I never get to see my better self. Because I'm entangled in somebody else's stuff, but I'm tired all the time. I never get nothing done. I never get anything done. My time is not my time anymore because now my time is being divvied out to other people to where I don't even have myself anymore. I don't have time for me anymore. I don't have time for a social life. I don't have time to date. I don't have time for this, that, and the other because other people are taking my time. But it falls back on you. Because again, you're allowing it to happen. Stop enabling, stop facilitating. Because again, you got a lot of stuff to do in this life. But at the end of the day, if you're constantly being drained and you're constantly being distracted, guess what? You never get to achieve anything. How many people do you know right now that don't achieve nothing because they're so busy in other people's lives? I know people right now who, never achieved anything, never accomplished anything, never did anything worth doing. Why? Because they're entangled. They're always in somebody else's stuff. So much so that you never get to address your stuff. You never get to address your stuff because you handcuffed by somebody else's stuff. At some point, you got to say enough. At some point, you got to say, I've had it. But it goes back to you. Now, you've heard the truth. What are you going to do with that truth? It's kind of like with information. You can have information all you want to, but it's all about what do you do with the information. Do you just keep doing the same old? Or do you just say, you know what, enough is enough. I got my own cross to bear. I got my own stuff to do, but I can't do it because of you. I can't hold your hand. I can't babysit you. I can't. At some point, you just got to say, enough is enough. Because again, you never get to deal with your stuff. You never get to live your life. And I know I'm talking to somebody who is basically handcuffed right now. You locked up. You can't do nothing because you've assigned your life to other people, multiple people. Stop. Can we agree that we just gonna work on you? Again, you do so much for other people, but you don't never do nothing for you. You don't do nothing for you. You sacrifice for everybody else. Those same people don't sacrifice for you. And you wonder why you drained all the time. You wonder why you feel used all the time. You upset with other people when you should be upset with you because you allow it to happen. Again, start focusing on you. Work on your insecurities. Work on you. Understand that, again, you have a very big life to live, but you'll never get to live your life if you're always, A, avoiding your issues, B, carrying somebody else's cross, and C, never finishing anything in your life because you allow yourself to become distracted. Probably don't waste it 5, 10, 15 years of your life, messed it up, got distracted because of something that's going on at the house or going on way back at home, 2 hours away. Who am I talking to? Am I talking to you? Am I talking to you? I'm just saying, enough is enough. It's time for you to start living. And if ain't nobody else gonna tell you, I'll tell you, it's time for you to start living. And live big and not stop living so small. But you're tired all the time. You just tired all the time. KB said, this is me. KB said, this is my truth. Now, if we all can agree that you're the author of your story, God gave you free will. When are you going to take that pen and start doing something and start writing a different story? That's the question. When are you going to start writing a different story? If your life was a TV show, it would probably look like a classic rerun. Am I lying? Am I lying? You probably go to 1 or 4 or 5 places. You go to your job, go to your kids' school, go to the grocery store, go to church. Sound about right? Those are your spots. When are you going to start doing more with your life? When are you going to start writing deeper chapters, longer chapters? That's adventurous versus this is where I go. This is what I do. I'm either at home, the grocery store, church, my kids' school, or my job. And that's as big as you play because you too busy getting caught up in other people's stuff. When are you going to start writing better chapters? I'm telling you, this is your time. This is your year. But you really gotta be intent on writing a different story, writing a different narrative. Again, this is your time. This is your time. You got the pen. What you gonna write? What you gonna write? Are you gonna write a New York Times bestseller, or you just gonna write chapters that look the same as the last chapter? Time for new chapters, y'all. Time for new chapters. Love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging with me. If this has inspired you, if this has made you think, say you were talking to me tonight, Coach. Say you were talking to me. This was for me. If this was for you, and you've been carrying around other people's stuff, and you hadn't been living a bigger life because of other people, say you talking to me, Coach. If you bought into the lies of other people, if you allow people to talk to you so much that it makes you feel small, so you never dream big because people done beat you down so much and you've allowed it. Say you talking to me, Coach. Say this was for me. Shoot, let's see. Say you talking to me. Val says you talking to me. Renee say you talking to me. You talking to me. I'm getting a whole bunch of you talking to me. This was for me. I'm telling you. Look here. Y'all got greatness on you, but let me give you something good. Greatness won't happen to you until you start buying into you. It won't happen for you until you start believing in you. So you got to check people when they start talking to you wrong. You got to start checking people when they start talking to you wrong. Talking to you. out of your standard. You know you a dime. If you don't know you a dime, talk to yourself and tell yourself you are a dime. If people are talking to you like you are a nickel or a penny or less than, you got to shut that conversation down. Because again, the first thing you got to do is convince you of who you're supposed to be every day. The first sale every day is you selling you on you. So you really got to be intent on locking into who you want to be. But that also requires you to brainwash you, because again, you've allowed people throughout your life to brainwash you. That auntie who told you wasn't going to be nobody. You know, your mama who told you wasn't going to be anybody. Again, you too dark, you too fat, you're not qualified, you're not smart enough. Nobody in this family ever graduated, nobody ever did anything. Y'all bladder. You've had years and decades of that. So you got to start brainwashing yourself and getting rid of certain ideas and ideals that will always set you back. Just as you talk yourself out of stuff, start talking yourself into stuff. You got to sell yourself on you. But it requires you being selfish. It requires you to walk a little bit more upright, like you are bougie, like you are bad, like you are cut from a different cloth. You got to start believing in you. Again, the first sale of the day is you selling you on you. But you're worth it. You just have to decide that you're worth it and go after the better version of yourself. But again, you ain't going to do that carrying around crosses all day, dealing with dramatic people all day, dealing with people who see you as less all day. You know, people talking crazy to you just to try to keep you down all day. You got to fight. Look, have you ever fought for a relationship in your life? Have you ever just been that psycho person who just, maybe they broke up with you, but you say, no, we ain't breaking up. Just as you fought for that person who probably didn't deserve you, you got to start fighting for yourself too. You got to start fighting for you. You got to start becoming psycho about you. You got to fight hard for you, because all your life you've had people trying to convince you you were not who you thought you were. You started off here, but life and people have knocked you down. Boom. And they disguise it by saying, I'm just trying to keep you humble. I talk mess to you and I talk bad about you and I make you feel this low, but I'm trying to keep you down here. Again, you're an eagle. You're supposed to soar. You're supposed to be high. You're supposed to be up here because, again, you're a different standard. You ain't like everybody else. But if you're constantly dealing with people who knock you down, who try to keep you grounded, keep you humble, you'll never soar. So again, just as you fight for other people, just like you fight for your kids, just like you fought for that relationship that wasn't worth nothing, fight for yourself too. Fight for yourself too. Because again, you're worth it. So let's go get it. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me coach you, not only in weight loss, but in life, because all of this stuff is tied in together. The number one thing I always ask people when they want to lose weight with me, the first thing I always ask is, who changed your mind about you? All of this stuff is relevant to your weight loss. Again, if people have been lying to you all your life, saying you're too fat, you're not smart enough, this, that, and the other, and you done bought it, we got to reverse all of that. You got to reverse all of that. Because you done heard some mess throughout your life. Now, it's time to basically get rid of all of that stuff that you've been fed, that, you can't do this and you can't do that. And you just got to get rid of that, because, again, your better self is waiting on the other side of that stuff. So fight for her. Go ahead and fight for her. She's worth it. So let's go get it. Love y'all. Thank y'all for spending time with me. Shoot, we got to do this again. We'll do this again Wednesday. We'll talk on Wednesday, because I love talking to you. And again, we're here to make each other better. So love y'all. Have a great evening, and thank you for hanging. Love each and every single last one of you.